Okay, so we're going to pick up where we left off on our lab. So this will be part 2 of the lab. I do want to show you the next problem. It looks a little bit different because if you start looking at your metals, hopefully you know, grab this out, that chlorine is over here. It is a halogen, as is iodine. So these are non-metals. So when I look at this, I actually have 2 non-metals, because this is an I, okay, this is a capital I. So I have 2 non-metals and only 1 metal, okay? So up here I was having 2 metals, 2 metals, 2 metals, and so forth. So if you'll look again at your table, we also have a reactivity table for non-metals, okay? So fluorine being the most reactive, chlorine, bromine, iodine, in that order. So when I come to this one here, I want to know, is chlorine, okay, greater than iodine, okay, because the potassium is my metal. Okay, is chlorine greater than iodine? So here's my chart. Is chlorine greater than iodine? Yes, it is. That means that this is going to react. So just like what we did up here, the chlorine is going to replace the iodine. Now be careful on this one because of the fact that the potassium is your cation, your iodine is your anion. So we're not replacing the potassium, we're replacing the iodine. And so we have KCl. See, this chlorine is going to replace the iodine right there. And then it knocks off the iodine. And again, remember the iodine is a diatomic, just like the hydrogen is. It needs the I2 on there. We're going to check charges. Potassium being a +1, chlorine being a -1. So I don't need any subscripts to balance. Now we're going to balance the reaction. So I have 2 iodines. So I need 2 iodines. That gives me 2 potassiums, so I'm going to need a 2 here, which now also gives me 2 chlorines, which I have. And that should be my balanced reaction. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. So the next one that we're going to do is number 5. And slide that up a little bit. Okay, and if you look at number 5, on there, we have water. And we've talked about water before and how we can rewrite water different. So we're actually going to take the water and we're going to write it as an HOH. We've done that before, okay? So I'm going to just come over here to the side and just rewrite the whole thing. So I have lithium plus HOH. So when I go to do my determining, I'm going to say, is lithium greater than the hydrogen gas? So again, I'm going to go to my table. Is lithium higher than hydrogen? So I'm going to go all the way up. Lithium's at the very top. It's the most reactive, okay, that we have here. So it's definitely going to replace. So it's going to be replacing the hydrogen. So I have lithium replaces this hydrogen, so it's going to attach to the OH and knocks off the hydrogen as hydrogen gas. Okay, the rest of it again is just balancing. Check your compound first. Lithium is a +1. Hydroxide is a -1, so I don't need any subscripts. So that's good. The next is just to balance the reaction. So if you'll notice, you've got 3 hydrogens on this side, only 2 here. So I need 2 hydrogens by themselves, so I'm going to put 2 there. So there's my 2 hydrogens. This also gives me 2 OHs, so I need a 2 here. There's 2 OHs. But it also gave me 2 lithiums, so I need a 2. Okay, so that's kind of giving you an example of each one of these. So the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and try 6 through 10 on your own. Be honest about it. I want you to pause the video, and then I will show you the correct answers. So one statement just to make real quick. Again, don't forget this is another water one. So I'm just going to rewrite it as Na plus HOH. Same thing with number 9. Okay, so Cu plus HOH. And I'm putting parentheses around it. You don't really need to. I'm putting around it just so that you see that OH piece of it. Okay, so again, pause the video. I want you to do 6 through 10 and then start the video back up. Please be honest and stop the video. Balance them and predict the product and balance. Okay, so I'm hoping you have done as I have asked and you actually paused the video and tried these on your own. So on number 6, we're going to again look at, is copper greater than iron? Copper, iron. I'm going to go to my table. And if you'll remember, copper was one of the very lowest. So iron is up here, copper's here. So copper is not greater than iron. Copper is not greater than iron. So that's a no, this is not true. And so if it's not true, no reaction. So that one made that pretty easy. Okay, next one. Sodium and the hydrogen. So again, I'm going to come to my table. If you remember, hydrogen gas was way down here. Sodium is way up here at the top. So sodium is greater than hydrogen gas. Okay, so is Na greater than hydrogen gas? This is going to be a yes. So again, I'm just going to take the sodium and put it where the hydrogen is at. Okay, so I'm going to have NaOH. I put the sodium where the hydrogen was at. Okay, just picked them up, swapped them. Okay, plus, then it's going to knock off this hydrogen. Okay. Your final step is you needed to balance that. So we're going to have, I need 2 hydrogens here. That gives me 2 OHs and 2 sodiums. Now, one of the things that the kids have asked in the past, does it matter which way you write this, if it's the NaOH or the hydrogen gas first? And no, it doesn't. You could switch them around. That's not going to be a problem. Okay, the next one we're going to ask, is iron greater than lead? Is iron greater than lead? Again, I'm going to go to my table. Here's iron, here's lead. So yes, iron is greater than lead. Okay, so iron is going to replace the lead. So FeNO3 plus Pb. Now, thing that I had in class, a lot of the kids were doing, when they put this NO3 2, they put the 2 on it. Remember, this 2 just balances this compound. So when you bring it over here, I'm only bringing the NO2 over. The other 2, you might have had trouble with this, how to ask yourself, but in this case, not put it there. This is going to be iron as a +3. You didn't really know that. It's not something you should have known at this point. So I'm just going to tell you it's a +3. So if you had trouble with that, that's what it is. Nitrate's a -1, so that's going to make us 3 of those. And then your Pb. And then again, I need to go balance it. So if you did not have this 3, you might not have been able to balance it. I have 3 nitrates. I only have 2 here. So if I put 3 here. That'll make me 6 nitrates. Therefore, I got to put a 2 here to give me 6 nitrates. And that gives me 3 lead and 2 iron. Okay. So again, this here, knowing this number is not something that you might have known. Okay, the next one is copper greater than hydrogen gas. Remember, we said copper is very low on the totem pole. It's right here. It is under hydrogen gas. So copper is not greater than hydrogen. That's a no. So this should have been a no reaction. Oops, fix that so you can see it. Okay. And the final one is copper greater than aluminum. And we just said copper is kind of low man on the totem pole. Remember, aluminum should have been up high.